The story of BlackBerry is one of the most fascinating rises and dramatic falls in the history of technology. A company that once defined what it meant to be connected, only to lose its grip on the very future it helped create. Before the era of touchscreens and apps, before smartphones became what they are today, there was one name that stood above the rest. A device so powerful, so addictive, that people couldn't put it down. It changed how the world communicated, how businesses operated, and how people stayed connected. That name was BlackBerry Limited. In this video, we're going to break down the full story about how BlackBerry rose to power, the genius ideas that made it successful, and the hidden decisions that led to its downfall. We'll explore the origin of its iconic keyboard, the moment everything started to shift, and the critical mistakes that cost the company its dominance. And more importantly, we'll answer the big question: what really happened to BlackBerry? It all began in Canada in the 1980s with a small company called Research in Motion, later known as BlackBerry Limited. It was founded by visionary engineer Mike Lazaridis. The company initially focused on wireless data technology. At a time when most people still relied on landlines and basic pagers, Lazaridis believed that the future of communication would be wireless, instant, and always accessible. That belief would go on to shape an entire industry. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, BlackBerry introduced something revolutionary: mobile email. It may sound simple today, but at the time, it was groundbreaking. For the first time, professionals could send and receive emails on a handheld device, anywhere, anytime. This innovation changed the way businesses operated. Executives, government officials, and corporate leaders quickly adopted BlackBerry devices, making them a status symbol of productivity and power. The addictive nature of instant email even earned the devices a nickname: Crackberry. One of the biggest reasons behind BlackBerry's early success was its iconic physical keyboard, but that didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was the result of careful design thinking, experimentation, and a deep understanding of what users needed at the time. In the late 1990s, when BlackBerry Limited was developing its early devices, most mobile communication tools were limited to pagers or phones with numeric keypads. Typing messages on these devices was slow and frustrating, often requiring users to press the same key multiple times just to get one letter. Mike Lazaridis and his team wanted to solve this problem by creating a device that could handle real-time communication, especially email, quickly and efficiently. Their solution was bold. Instead of using a traditional phone keypad, they designed a full QWERTY keyboard small enough to fit on a handheld device. This wasn't easy. At the time, many experts believed it would be impossible to make such tiny keys usable. But BlackBerry engineers focused on ergonomics, how the human thumb moves naturally. They carefully shaped each key, slightly raised and curved them, and spaced them just enough so users could type accurately without constantly looking at the screen. The result was a keyboard that felt surprisingly natural. Users could type emails quickly, almost like they were using a computer. This became a game changer. For business professionals who relied heavily on communication, the BlackBerry keyboard wasn't just convenient, it was essential. It allowed them to respond to emails instantly, no matter where they were. Over time, this keyboard became BlackBerry's identity. People didn't just buy the device for its features, they bought it for the typing experience. It created a sense of speed, control, and productivity that competitors couldn't match at the time. A huge part of BlackBerry's success came from its focus on security and efficiency. Its encrypted messaging system was considered one of the most secure in the world, which made it the preferred choice for governments and large organizations. Combined with long battery life and reliable performance, BlackBerry devices became indispensable tools. For millions of users, it wasn't just a feature, it was the reason they chose BlackBerry over anything else. By the mid-2000s, BlackBerry was at its peak. It dominated the smartphone market, especially in North America and Europe. The company was not just competing, it was leading. At that time, the idea of a smartphone was almost synonymous with BlackBerry. It had built a powerful ecosystem centered around communication, and it seemed unstoppable. But then came 2007, a turning point that would change everything. The very feature that helped BlackBerry rise to the top the keyboard also played a role in its fall. It anchored the company to the past, making it harder to fully embrace the future. That year, Steve Jobs unveiled the first iPhone.
So how are we going to take this to a mobile device? Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen. Now,
unlike anything before it, the iPhone introduced a full touchscreen interface, a sleek design, and a new way of interacting with technology. It wasn't just a phone, it was a mini computer designed for everyday users, not just business professionals. At first, BlackBerry didn't see it as a serious threat. In fact, many within the company believed that customers would never give up the physical keyboard for a touchscreen. But the market was shifting toward touch-based interaction. At the end, this miscalculation would prove costly. As the iPhone evolved and introduced the App Store, it completely changed user expectations. Phones were no longer just for emails and calls, they became platforms for entertainment, social media, gaming, and creativity. At the same time, devices powered by Android entered the market, offering a wide range of options at different price points. Suddenly, consumers had choices, and those choices were more exciting than what BlackBerry was offering. BlackBerry tried to respond, but it struggled to adapt. Its operating system that was once revolutionary began to feel outdated compared to the smooth, user-friendly interfaces of its competitors. The company attempted to introduce touchscreen devices, but they lacked the polish and innovation of the iPhone and Android phones. Worse still, BlackBerry failed to build a strong app ecosystem. While competitors had thousands, then millions of apps, BlackBerry users were left with limited options. Internally, the company also faced challenges as well. Decision-making became slower, and there was a reluctance to abandon what had once made them successful. BlackBerry was deeply rooted in its identity as a business-focused device, and it struggled to pivot toward a consumer-driven market. The very strengths that once defined its security, email, and keyboards became limitations in a world that was moving toward touchscreens, apps, and multimedia experiences. By the early 2010s, the decline was clear. Market share dropped rapidly as users switched to iPhones and Android devices. Even loyal customers began to leave, frustrated by the lack of innovation. BlackBerry launched new products and even introduced a new operating system. But it was too late. The market had already moved on.
Eventually, BlackBerry made a difficult but necessary decision. It would stop focusing on making smartphones. Instead, the company shifted its attention to software and cybersecurity, areas where it still had strong expertise. Today, BlackBerry is no longer a major player in the smartphone market, but it continues to operate in the background, providing security solutions for businesses, governments, and even automotive systems. What really happened to BlackBerry wasn't just about losing to competitors. It was about missing a shift, failing to recognize that the future of smartphones was not just about communication, but about experience. While others were building ecosystems, BlackBerry was holding on to its past. The rise and fall of BlackBerry is more than just a business story. It's a powerful lesson. In technology, no position is permanent. Innovation doesn't wait, and the moment a company stops evolving, it risks being left behind. BlackBerry didn't fail because it wasn't great. It failed because it couldn't adapt fast enough to a world it helped create. The rise and fall of BlackBerry is more than just a business story. It's a powerful lesson. In technology, no position is permanent. Innovation doesn't wait, and the moment a company stops evolving, it risks being left behind. BlackBerry didn't fail because it wasn't great. It failed because it couldn't adapt fast enough to a world it helped create. The story of BlackBerry Limited leaves us with one powerful takeaway. No matter how far ahead you are, the moment you stop adapting is the moment you start falling behind. Technology moves fast, and the companies that survive are the ones that keep evolving with it. If you found this story interesting and want more deep dives into the hidden side of tech, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned because there are many more stories like this that you've probably never heard.